Welcome back to Access Houston on 97.9 The Box.
Good Sunday morning. You're listening to Access Houston. I'm your host, KG Smooth. Welcoming back, of course, friends to the program, the artistic director of the ensemble, my friend, the lovely Eileen J. Morris is back. Hi.
Hi. Hello, KG. Thank you so much, and your audience for having us here today.
Oh, always. It's that time. So we're about to get into More Than Christmas just a little bit. She is a Houstonian native singer, actress, songwriter, plus-size model, makeup artist. My God, you're Jamaican. You got,
yes,
you got 30 jobs, man.
I do.
An'Tick Von
Morphxing. An'Tick Von Morphxing.
An'Tick Von Morphxing. That sounds German.
But it's not. It's just me.
It's just you.
It's just me.
Well, welcome to the program.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Vivacious energy. And she's also a native Houstonian, graduate of the visual arts, and has a bachelor in music education degree from TSU. Please welcome Stephanie York Blue.
Thank you.
The program. Welcome.
Hello. Welcome. Thank you.
So it's that time. You all are continuing on with the season.
Yes.
And it's Christmas time. Christmas time is here. And we've got More Than Christmas, which is a family and faith centered musical about Christmas. Give us a brief synopsis. Anybody can take it.
So More Than Christmas is about the family dynamic of individuals who come together, and their love for each other is centered around the dinner table, having good times, also the conflict that families sometimes have. And so that's basically what More Than Christmas is, but also always loving each other in the end. It's always about us.
That's definitely family. At Christmas time, should make for some interesting conversation, especially this year. So, with all the craziness that is going on. So, tell us about your character, Auntie.
Well, I am Michelle in More Than Christmas, and I guess I'm the cog in the wheel. I keep everything going, and I try to pull everybody together around the dinner table as I'm having my internal conflicts about different relationships and how different relationships and family dynamics have changed. So we're all dealing with changes that have occurred within the family structure. And so you get to see Michelle battle with some of the changes and then resolve in the end. I think changes.
The book, which is written by Celeste Bedford Walker, book and lyrics, and then Stephanie Blue is the composer and lyricist as well. What Celeste has done, KG, in this story is that she's allowed all generations within this family to have an opportunity to shine, or to hear their voices, or to have come from their perspective. So you get the young grandchildren, or really great-grandchildren, of Granny. Granny's the matriarch of the family, and she's in her 80s. And then you get her children, and then you also get their children, which is Michelle, and then you get Michelle's children as well that's in there. So you have these generations of the Mercy family and the, what's the other last name? Mercy and
Ford,
and Ford family, the Mercy and Ford family that have come together to celebrate Christmas and to give Granny what they call an old-fashioned Christmas, because Granny just lost her husband about a year ago, and so they're still trying to figure out just where their place is and how do they continue the celebration. But it is about family and faith and coming together and sharing stories and sharing the love that they have for each other that really truly is the true meaning of Christmas anyway.
Absolutely.
But unfortunately, things like that happen in the story create the why the play is called More Than Christmas.
More than, okay. So Stephanie, you have wrote a song specifically for More Than Christmas, yes?
Several songs.
Several songs, excuse me.
24 songs.
24?
Yes.
22 we do in the play.
Yes.
Wow.
So
All by yourself?
Yes, with inspiration from Miss Celeste and her script. It was a challenge,
I can imagine. I mean, because I'm I would like to consider myself a songwriter. I haven't written a song in a long time, but to write a whole song, I mean,
Right.
first verse, first chorus, second verse, second hook, a bridge,
Right.
and out like.
Yeah.
That can be challenging, especially lyric wise. What was the process like? 22 songs? That's amazing.
Just going through the script one song at a time.
Yeah.
Just focusing on. In fact, when we did the reading, I only had the first act, and the band was kidding me every time they got to the second act. They were like, "Insert song here." So after about 7 times of saying that, they were like, "Well, you got a lot of songs. You better get to work. You got a lot of songs to write."
Yeah.
But it just one at a time, and it came together like that.
Well,
Don't you think some of the characters helped to inform the story as well? What the characters were going through at that particular time, or what was the essence of what was happening in that particular moment in the play? Did that help?
Yes, the characters, knowing the characters, understanding the characters, trying to think of somebody that I know is like that character.
Right.
That really helped. So,
well, let's get into a little snippet of Old Fashioned Christmas, which is a song that is featured in the stage play musical More Than Christmas.
I want an old-fashioned Christmas like my mama used to have. Ooh, hey, memories of happy.
That is, it's amazing. Can't wait for that. Who's playing Grandma? I like because she sounds like Grandma.
So Granny is played by Vivian Reed. She's a Broadway 2-time Tony Award nominee for Bubbling Brown Sugar, and I forget the other play that she received a Tony Award nomination for, but she comes to us from New York City, and she was a part of the reading when we first started putting the musical together, and then also now she's in the play with us.
Nice.
In our musical, Yeah.
You're listening to Access Houston, talking to the cast of More Than Christmas, which is running right now at the Ensemble Theatre through December 29th, just in time for the holidays. You all are also doing a sign language interpretation of the play on the 30th.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. So if there are people that feel that they really want to come out and celebrate the holidays, and sometimes the opportunities are not there for them, then we are doing a sign language interpretation. We have students from Houston Community College that have been coming and sitting in on our rehearsals. So it's interesting for them because they said this is their first musical that they've had an opportunity to do, and it's really great to have them participate and be a part of the family because they've been in rehearsal with us just as long as we've been in rehearsal.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So how was it for you directing this one?
Great. I love Christmas.
Yeah.
So Christmas is my favorite time of the year.
Yeah.
And I think primarily because, people are a little bit nicer. Mm-hmm. The world seems like no matter what's going on in the world, when you start thinking about the true meaning of Christmas and why we're all here and able to celebrate, it warms my heart and makes my heart happy. And the food is so great, and because there's so many varying styles and types of food.
Yes.
And then also it's just about people coming together and families, and people smile at each other a little bit more and those types of things. So the experience of bringing together these artists and having, us kind of delve into the words and the text and the language has been a wonderful experience and journey. And plus the music. I mean, you're going to come out of the play singing and humming several tunes because Miss Stephanie has given us music that has a Caribbean feel, a jazz feel, a gospel feel, contemporary feel. I mean, you get a little bit of everything, and there's songs that are catchy that I find myself every week there's a new song that's in my head.
That's in your head that you like. Yeah, I love it. Well, I can't wait.
Yes, and understand that as cast members watching Eileen direct this play, it's like you get to see her. You're like, is that the 11-year-old Eileen? Because she's like a little kid. Like, it's gonna be snow, and it's gonna be, you gotta do this, and you gotta. And I know no one can see me what I'm doing with my hands.
Right, but no, I get it.
Yeah,
I
so you
I
get to see
it.
that very youthful kitty spirit,
I love that.
Yeah.
So with Christmas, Eileen, it being, your favorite holiday, each of you all, what is your favorite thing about Christmas?
Time off.
Time off. That's real. I'm with that, Stephanie.
She's a teacher, so that's
Yeah.
right.
Time off, indeed.
I appreciate the time off, but a lot of the things is really the memories that I had, from my grandparents. I grew up in my grandparents' house, and to just think about the smell of it, the pine needles, or the needles from the Christmas tree, the smell, the cinnamon,
and the apple,
all of that,
cinnamon,
and it's like, oh my gosh, I get to smell greens and cornbread in about 1 more week.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Eileen, I know this is going to be hard for you.
No, it is hard because I love everything. But I think I like how people just drop by. People that are in town, or relatives that may come in town, or that they're in the area and they just drop by, and then you have a cup of eggnog, or you sit and talk, and we have a pecan tree, so you crack the pecans and sit and eat pecans, and it's just the shared memories.
The shared memories. Yeah, I agree with that. I love the family time. I love just being with my brothers and sisters, my nieces and nephews, and us sitting around laughing, just reminiscing about growing up, getting the kids hip to the things that we did as kids, and just kind of passing that on. And, we're a funny family. Like, everybody's a comedian, purposely and unknown. And so I love when we get together and, like, we literally, as a unit, sit around and watch stand-up comedy specials.
Oh, wow. Do you all?
That
Wonderful.
was our thing, because our grandmother, like, she loved comedy. She loved stand-up. Like, back in the day when Comic View was on BET, every night my grandmother is watching Comic View on BET. I remember I would call her. Sometimes she would just be cracking up like, Mom, what are you watching? Comic View? Again? They done reran this episode 11 times. But that's our thing.
So did you all ever get up and, like, have talent shows and sing and stuff?
Yes,
we
we
you
do.
can't help, I know it. And
Yes,
that's
we
what
do.
they do in the story, in this play, in the musical that we're doing. I keep calling it a play because it is a play, but there's it's a musical.
It's a musical.
And so they get up and they just start, dancing and singing and, that type of thing, because that's what families do when they gather together,
Yeah. The one year, we bought a whole karaoke system. I was like, come on, bro. Me and my youngest brother, we went and we bought a whole karaoke system, for that Christmas, and it was a blast.
Wow.
And I cannot wait to see this play. More Than Christmas is running now through December 29th at the Ensemble Theatre. Go ahead and get your tickets now. I will be there on the 29th to check out the play. So I am so excited, and thank you, ladies, for coming on and sharing and talking Christmas with me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Good Sunday morning. You're listening to Access Houston. I'm your host, KG Smooth. Welcoming in the studio, first timer to the program, and I just learned that I am her second radio interview. So we're going to make this easy. She is the executive director of ONEGoal-Houston. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Patty Williams Downs. It's in the building.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm well. This is really exciting. I think you have a reputation of being really easygoing.
Yeah,
a unicorn, and so I'm excited. It sounds like you are the goat.
Well, thank you. I don't know about that. I do what I do. I do it for the community. It's not, it's not about me. Purposely, I use this platform to make us, Black folks more self-aware. And so if it's about that and it's going to help advance and move us forward, come on, let's talk about it and get the word out there. So it's an honor to have you here. So ONEGoal-Houston, what is ONEGoal-Houston?
Yes. So it is by title and design a one goal, which is to ensure that every student in Houston has an equal opportunity to a post-secondary education.
Indeed. Now, I noticed that one is in all capitals. Is that an acronym, or does it have a meaning?
It isn't.
No.
It isn't.
Okay.
It's just
to
marketing to zone in.
To zone
It's
in
just
on that one
thing.
goal. Okay.
Yeah.
And so what was the inspiration behind One Goal? Are you an educator? Give us a background about you. How did this all come about?
Yeah, so I'll give a little bit of a background about just One Goal as a national enterprise. So we actually exist in 6 different cities across the United States.
Oh, wow.
And then I'll sort of share, like, how I arrived at being a servant for the One Goal in Houston. So it originated in Chicago in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago has predominantly, I'm going to use like business terms and nonprofit terms, but like a business market or demographic of African American students. And our former CEO, Jeff Nelson, saw the Chicago Tribune, and it showed, those like figurines where it has like 100 bodies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, 3 of them were highlighted because it was statistically proven that only 3 out of 100 students from CPS, Chicago Public Schools, would graduate with a degree 6 years after high school.
Wait.
Mind, I know. It's blowing your whole mind, I know.
Off the top.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's insane. And so Jeff said that is wild. It is not honoring our civil rights for the country. It is not what kids deserve. They're better than that. And so he started One Goal to ensure that kids had access in Chicago. Once the proof point was established there, then it was like anything else. Where else can we go? Where else does this problem exist? And Houston also had a similar problem. So, KG, this is going to sound even crazier. So I'm going to bring you into the numbers here.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Here, only 9% of low-income students in Houston will graduate with a degree 6 years after high school, as opposed to 86% of their peers who are born into the middle class and wealth. I know it's going to blow your mind. It's crazy.
9%.
9%.
9%.
9%. And so there was born ONEGoal-Houston after One Goal Chicago, is to literally ensure that 9% does not exist.
Wow. You listen to Access Houston talking to Patty Williams Downs of One Goal-Houston. That number is beyond alarming.
Yeah.
That should be, that's like epidemic status numbers type ordeal. This is.
It is. I mean, if we think about it, like think about going to a supermarket and thinking about 10 people in an aisle. One of those people who are low income will have social mobility, will have the opportunity to change the trajectory of their family's lives, will have the opportunity to earn, more likely than not, because college degree and a credential can help you earn, more than $60,000 plus, which helps to transform what you have access to. Home ownership,
right.
Health insurance.
Yeah.
So there's just a degree or credential can literally change the trajectory of your life. And right now, only 9% of students who are low income are offered that.
Wow. That is astounding. What a shocker. I got to get over that.
Yeah.
Well, so with the many markets that One Goal resides in, why Houston? What was it about Houston that made you all want to come here?
Yeah, it was to support the market of Houston, which is sort of a cross-section of Hispanic students and African-American students, where Chicago is primarily African-American students.
Right.
So it was both the need and the demographic that there was a calling. I also think we had quite a few financial backers, which for any business, and you need some capital.
Yeah.
No matter if you're a nonprofit or for profit, you need some money.
and where else better to come than to oil and gas country?
Exactly. Right. Exactly. Where, from oil and gas, the phrase we like to say in our office is, no money, no mission.
Oh, yeah.
And in Houston, we did have access to quite a few incredibly wealthy people who wanted to use their legacy, their platform. I think we assume often, this might be highly controversial, so I'm going to go out on a limb and say
we
this.
speak truth to the power here.
Okay.
No, we're not scared.
But I think we assume that particularly wealthier people have judgment on our demographics, or that they want to isolate their money and keep it to themselves. That hasn't been our experience. We were able to get a board of about 6 people who are incredibly wealthy to give sizable gifts. I mean, KG, $100,000 investments. They were able to get their friends to give $100,000 investments because they too also believed that this was unfair. They wanted to use their resources to position students to have access in the same way that their kids have. So I like to dispel that myth because I think often.
That is very good to hear. That gives a little more, I don't know, I guess, inspiration and get up and go juice behind some of these nonprofits to know that. Because I personally don't know the struggles. I do hear a lot of organizations that come through like, funding is tough. Yeah. But we're staying with it, so that is good to know.
Yeah,
indeed. So when it comes to ONEGoal and your offerings here in Houston, what is it that you all are offering for the Houston community?
Oh, yeah, I love talking about this because I love talking about our services.
Yes.
Because it's just deeply connected to my own leadership story. So I'm from New Jersey, and I'm from an area that's like Third Ward here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, my mom, single mom of 5 kids, and she actually was pregnant with me when she enrolled in college, and she went to a class and it was really hard, and she thought, you know what, I don't know if this is for me, and she left. And nobody encouraged her to stay. Nobody said, actually, you're really smart, you can continue to do this. And so my mom didn't complete her college journey, but she watched all 5 of her kids and did everything she could, working 2 or 3 jobs to make sure that all 5 of her kids
What
enrolled.
city in Jersey?
East Orange.
Okay.
Yep. Which is right near Newark. Actually, a lot of
yeah.
my family members live in Newark. But all 5 of us enrolled because she was that mama. She was the mama who did everything she could to lay down anything she could to make sure that she could build bridges for us. And so that's essentially, I think, the services we offer kids is inroads to ensure that they have access to a caring adult. There's a wise woman that I get to work with very often who says students are really one caring adult away from magic. Yeah.
Like that.
And so I think about that because that was my mom, and that's actually the core of the ONEGoal model. So it is a teacher-led in-school model. So we partner with districts and schools, and we find teachers, high-performing teachers, who deliver the ONEGoal class every day.
Now, are these teachers who, because you saying that, I got about 5 people who I know that were educators that were, I'm just going to keep it real, that were done dirty by, some of the school districts here, who were actually really, really making a significant difference. And so this would be great. I mean, I don't know. What will be the qualifications for one to be a part? Because I literally know some folks
if
who,
you know them, bring them. Tell them to reach out to me. We'll leave some information, but we're always looking to partner, particularly in schools. Let me sort of paint a picture. We like to partner with schools that have a demographic where students, at least 80% or more of students qualify for free and reduced lunch, which means that they're economically disadvantaged. That's where we want to serve. Okay. And so currently we serve about 2,500 students across 5 different districts in the Houston area. Okay. HISD, Spring Branch, Aldine, Yes Prep, and KIPP. Okay. And we've actually had a lot of demand, which is really exciting and kind of nerve-wracking because I'm like, I don't know if we don't have all the people to do all this. Right. But we're in demand, so we're actually looking to partner with quite a few folks. Klein ISD, Spring ISD, Sheldon ISD is on the deck. So teachers.
That's exciting.
It is. It's really exciting. Growth is just really exciting because, I mean, again, go back to that 9%. Our job is to make sure that does not exist. Yeah. And so the more kids we can serve and the more partnerships we can create, the more we can change those trajectories.
Well, you came to the right place because, I mean, Houston is huge.
Yeah.
Huge. Yeah. So did you all know that you were going to be taking on like a huge task when you came here?
Yeah. So we wanted to solve for supporting the Latinx community alongside African American community, and that's what Houston offered uniquely that Chicago didn't have. And so it was like, well, can we do it here? Does it work here? Can we keep a promise to the families? Can we partner with them? Can we help accelerate what they have for themselves? So teachers help do that. I would say teachers who, one, belief matters. Belief has a sound. Belief turns into actions because they precede your thoughts. Yeah. So teachers have to believe that every child can achieve a post-secondary outcome. I say that because I have come across, and in my experience, I'm an educator. I've been in education for about 15 years. I started as a Teach for America Corps member here in Houston. I taught for 6 years in A-Leaf. I was a principal. I worked at a system level at Yes Prep Public Schools.
Okay.
And then I moved to ONEGoal. So I mean,
you've
I've seen the
done the
gamut.
work. You've seen
I've
it
seen the
all.
gamut.
Yeah.
And I've seen teachers of all different races and backgrounds. And really what matters most is belief. I've come across teachers who said, I actually don't believe this kid is college material. That is like a sin for us. If we hear that, we're like, you don't actually belong in the ONEGoal mission. So belief matters. Your ability to build deep and lasting relationships, because our program is a 3-year model. So it's a late intervention. So it starts the first day of junior year in high school.
Okay.
And it ends the first day of sophomore year in whatever your pathway is.
Oh.
So we span the gamut of
love it.
secondary and post-secondary. Yeah.
So how can schools get involved?
Yes.
What do they need to do? This is genius.
So yeah, if you want to reach out to us, www.onegoalgraduation.org.
ONEGoal-Graduation.org.
ONEGoal.graduation.org, and you can find Houston, and there's all sorts of contact information there. And
And
you
what
can reach
about
out
social?
directly to me.
We're very social heavy around these parts. Are you all on Facebook or
Yes.
Instagram, Twitter?
Yes, we are on Instagram, ONEGoal-Houston graduation, because we are a national enterprise. Everybody
Right.
has their own
Everybody has
Facebook,
their
so
own.
come to
Okay.
Houston.
ONEGoal-Houston
Yes.
on IG and,
Yes.
and Facebook. That is so good. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so
We've got to stop this because there is, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why. I do know why. I guess I just seem to overlook it. I know it's all about the money and the power. But this attack on our kids, black and brown, I don't know why. The whole school to prison pipeline, from the kidnappings and sex trafficking is just, it's a scary time. And we have to protect our babies.
yes.
Even smart kids are getting caught up for the smallest thing.
Yep.
All because of this
Yeah.
school to prison pipeline, because they want this free labor out of us, out of people of color. Let's stand up and stop this.
Yeah. And what we want to do is we want to give kids, so there are, we do a lot of strategic planning within our organization, and we love it because it feels like a Mission Impossible board in front of you. You can move everything around. But when we do what's called a SWOT analysis, right? Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. The way we look at that is like weaknesses are things that we can control. Threats are just real boulders. So you can look at it sort of like a molehill is a weakness, something that you can overcome, because internally we can move everything to make that happen. But threats are real mountains, like things that you can position people around and you may still not be able to move. And I think what you are mentioning are real societal threats and things that take like summoning, for us to move. And the thing is that there are things that I think we can control internally, like weaknesses that I think can be reorchestrated within systems. For example, Michelle Obama said this the first time she launched an initiative, and the first time she went to Ghana, obviously not in her life, but within this initiative, to speak to young girls who were HIV positive. And she said, I want you to envision your life beyond its current state. That will help you make different decisions right now. ONEGoal helps students do that. So the things that are within your locus of control, if you can envision yourself in your life, which is what we have students do junior year, if you could have sat in junior year and envisioned who you were going to be today, you think back, you might have made some different decisions.
Yeah. Yep.
With some friendships or maybe some parties. I know I would have. I mean,
absolutely.
I think back to some relationships and I'm just like, girl, what were you doing? Why?
That's all of us.
So,
don't beat yourself up on that one.
Yeah.
This is amazing. The website is ONEGoal-Graduation.org. ONEGoal-Graduation.org. Follow them on Instagram at ONEGoal-Houston, because it is a national organization.
Yes. And you can also email us at houston@onegoalgraduation.org. You can also call us directly at 281-556-0301.
The vivacious and lovely Patty Williams Downs, Executive Director of ONEGoal-Houston. This was amazing. Thank you for sharing this. Thank you all for coming to Houston to make this change. Let's go.
Let's keep it moving. Yes. I'm with
thank
it.
You.
Thank
you
you
for coming
so
on the
much.
program.
Thank you so much, KG.
And thank you for listening to Access Houston. Listening to Access Houston. Listening to Access Houston. Listening to Access Houston.